Hello, welcome my beautiful Cancerians to your first reading for the month of March. I hope you had a lovely week. We're kicking off March in a positive way. I have had some tech gremlin issues, so I'm still feeling the effects of the Mercury, post-Mercury shadow. Crazy. So I'm here, that's great, no storms, we're good to go. I did want to make an announcement. I had planned, and so I might have mentioned in your last reading, I'm not sure, about channel memberships, and I was planning to launch them on the 1st, and then all my better senses took over, and I said, yeah, maybe I better wait until after the retrograde is completely finished. So you can be looking for that somewhere around the 13th, 14th-ish of the month. There will be 2 levels, just very briefly. Level 1 will have those morning musings that some of you really enjoyed. I have expanded the intention to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So I've been testing that out for a couple of weeks, and everything seems to be just fine in terms of how it relates to the larger spreads later in the day. But there have been some interesting surprises and more detailed messages. So I just thought I'd let you know that. You will also get the solar return extended, the new moon and full moon extended. So what's a solar return? The birthday readings that I do. I still have to catch up on Aquarius because I missed that due to my accident, but the extended version for every month's birthday reading will be in the membership, as well as the extended versions of the new moon and full moon readings I do. Right there, that's $33 value. The second level is everything I just said, plus minimum of 1 masterclass per month. Masterclasses tend to go an hour to an hour and a half. So they will be a deep dive on a topic of interest, from tarot to twin flame to north and south node to new moon, full moon rituals, whatever comes up. And it'll I'll kind of go on what you're interested in, and I will poll the members so that I get a feel for what you really want to learn. So if you would like that option, that would be level 2. That's it, and that should be coming out middle of the month. Last thing is, this is a general reading for Cancerian Sun and Rising signs. You've all been coming in asking me, why not the moon? Why not Venus? Because my intentions is that I'm reading for a person. So I want to read for your core personality and the face you show to the world. Our moon represents how we approach our emotions. The Venus represents how we approach love. Those cards kind of come out in the clarifiers. So it's all in there. If you feel like you absolutely must watch for your moon and Venus, that's fine. I'm not stopping you. It's just that my intention isn't around that, and therefore I can't vouch for the accuracy, and I would also not want you to take it as a one-off. Be sure you check your Sun or Rising readings for some confirmation as well. All right. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope if you enjoy the reading that you will join us by subscribing. Please, please, please click the like, thumbs up, click subscribe, and set those notifications. Click the little bell. All right, I'm pulling 2 cards from Spirit Animal Oracle, 1 for Divine Masculine, 1 for Divine Feminine. Oh, beautiful. Always remember, you can reverse the energies. So once I get through this whole reading, if you say, well, the masculine side really resonates with my experience of the connection, but I'm a feminine, fine, just flip the labels around. It does not impact the reading or invalidate it at all. So the Divine Masculine gets card 59, Starfish Spirit, open to infinite possibility. Oh, I love that. And 9 and 5 is 14, so 1 and 4 is 5. We've got that 5-pointed starfish. This lets me believe that on some level there is change in the air. That's what the numerology of the number 5 is. There's change afoot. So open yourself, masculine, to infinite possibility in the air of change. Feminine also gets a 5 card, 32, Hawk Spirit. Let spirit be your guide. So if I were you, I'd be going right to Google and looking up the number 5, because you are both very aligned. This hawk, it says, let spirit be your guide. I will say that I get visitations from my mother in the form of a hawk. This is my belief. This is my experience. And so hawks are usually extremely spiritual. They deliver messages as all birds do, but the hawk in particular has very powerful spiritual association. So you may, if you are here as a feminine, you may want to look that up as well and see what messages may be coming through for you. That topic also came up in the Priestess Lounge, the private group, private, not public, private group associated with this channel. It's in there's a link right below in the description box if you want to join. And there were other people, all of us at the same time were seeing hawks. So sometimes that's a message, and here it is. All right, Cancer, one card for the Cancerians watching from Soul Coaching Oracle. Let's see what your soul wants you to know today. Commitment. Interesting. My commitments increase my joy and freedom. I love how she's kind of looking like a little bit of a bride there. Just going to say it. Not in white, but she's holding white flowers and that little love bubble above her head. And the commitment card came out this morning in the little reading that I did for you. So, and it seemed like it was important. Someone needed to hear it. So let's see what's going on in your connection. Cancer, Sun, and Rising, please. Twin Flame Soulmate messages coming through for Cancer, Sun, and Rising. This is for the Divine Masculine. Wow, I love it. And the Feminine. Okay, so we I love it when anyone comes into the reading with that Page of Swords, like, I got my eye on you, right? So it's interesting how the Page of Swords is even looking at this Knight of Cups, right? Like, I spy someone moving toward love. Are they moving toward me? The answer would be yes. Knight of Cups, moving toward love. Page of Swords, seeking some information, some clarity, some truth, usually represented by more of a detective stance or a spy stance. It's okay. Alrighty, so here we go. So we have the 9 of Swords in the past, the 5 of Wands right now, and the 10 of Swords in the future. That looks choppy. Feminine, Page of Wands, 2 pages for the feminine. There's that High Priestess showed up in your last reading too, and also this morning. And the Ace of Cups. My goodness. So I'm going to say right off the bat that I think the masculine, pardon me, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Okay, pass. I feel like the masculine is going through it. Their present experience in the connection is this 5 of Wands. And the feminine, I think you may not be in communication. I think you may be in separation, actually. Feminines trying to feel their way in the dark, really relying on intuition. This is a card of Pisces. So I know there's been a lot of double water sign connections lately. So all of you came out this morning, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So could be anybody. But I'm feeling as if there's kind of like you're not, there's an absence of communication here at this present time. And here's why. 5 of Wands to me feels like there's some interference. This is a card of conflict. It's a card of chaos. And it's what? It's a 5 card. Remember? All about change. And sometimes change can be rough and tumble. We don't go, we go into it kicking and screaming. So I'm feeling this conflict. I don't know that the conflict is actually between the two of you, though. I'm almost feeling like there's outside interference. Somebody that's getting in the mix. Right? You see all these rough and tumble. Somebody comes in, everybody's getting along fine, and it takes one disruptor to come in and blow everything sky high. So that's what I'm feeling. And the reason why is because in the past, there's been some anxiety and stress and something that this masculine's been unable to kind of quiet the mind about. It's been running on a loop over and over, like the brain is in overdrive on something very distressing. And there's the conflict card that makes that make sense. I will clarify, but in the future, 10 of Swords, end of a painful cycle. Done. Stick a fork in it. Feminine here, Page of Wands in the past. So some kind of message of flirtation, lighthearted, It can be player energy, but I'm not seeing any of that here right now, although it's possible because the Page of Swords and the separation. But feminine using their intuition right now, very connected to your higher self and to the divine. This is a very spiritually connected card, very high, lots of intuition, lots of downloads. You know, seeing all the synchronicities, putting things together, seeing the hawk and then going and researching it, seeing the double fives and going and researching it. Come on, you're all priestesses now. That's why I named the channel Awaken Priestess. So going forward, Ace of Cups. So that is a divine gift of love. For some people, some readers say this is new love coming on your path. It can be. But when I read for these connections, I often see it as the receiving of the once-in-a-lifetime love. Okay. Whew, made it through that. I'm going to do this because I'm wanting to see these cards. Open to infinite possibility, and let Spirit be your guide. So this definitely feels connected. Let Spirit be your guide with the High Priestess. Yes. Getting confirmation there. All right, Knight of Cups, what say you? I feel like there's a do-over here, fresh start maybe. Knight of Cups with the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is an offer or a message. It's something tangible, but it's, you know, not super highly evolved. It's just kind of putting your toe in the water, right? Baby step here. And the Page of Pentacles. Crazy, right? So small offer, maybe a baby step, maybe a fresh start, but let's take things nice and slow. So we have two knights. We've got the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. What I love about the Pentacles, although you may not be happy because it's slower energy than the Knight of Cups, is that this is about a masculine who's creating a plan. They're really putting attention to details here, right? For everything, for timing, when it's going to be right, you know, making sure they've crossed every T, dotted every I. They're being deliberate and intentional and methodical and practical and reliable and responsible and all the abulls. And it's coming right on top of that fresh start energy. What I love about this is not a masculine who's being impulsive. This is someone who's serious and focused and wanting to do things the right way here in 3D. But of course, underneath is that Emperor. So definitely in control here. I'm feeling the control through the Pentacles, right? But now we've got the divine masculine energy of the Emperor. That is Aries, by the way. But in these readings, it's mostly a nod to the divine masculine. But to me, it feels as if underneath in the psyche, this masculine is becoming aware. It's kind of bubbling up under the surface of their role in this connection. The power of it. The responsibility of it. In the past, Nine of Swords. Super freaked out about the soulmate, twin soulmate. That's a soulmate's card, that's why I call it that, but it's this connection. Wow, this fated connection. So the Wheel of Fortune, on some level there, you know, this is a card of fate and destiny. It is also about divine time. And I feel that while the masculine recognizes that this connection will, you know, unfold in divine time, it's been stressing them out, right? Because why? Lack of control. Interesting. Something that's beyond their control, but that they know they're going to find out their response or the outcome in divine time. I will take the Ace of Wands. There's a lot of passion here, that divine gift of passion, like wanting to reignite the torch if you're in separation, or if you're first time coming together. That, you know, this is someone who's extremely aware of the chemistry. They're not taking action on it though, so that's kind of good in a way. But now I'm like puzzled about the Five of Wands. Smack in the middle right now, that would be their present experience around this connection, is this Five of Wands. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Conflict with a King of Wands. Oh, the Saboteur. I'm going to take this as well. The Hanged Man, Pisces, more Pisces energy. So the conflict here feels almost, it's saying King of Wands. King of Wands can be Aries, Leo, Sag. It's a card of fire. But it's also somebody who's very self-assured, very confident. Usually the kind of person who steps into the room and all heads turn just by the way they carry themselves. You know, that kind of person, usually with a powerful voice and presence, just in their aura is kind of pretty amazing. So I'm seeing this King of Wands. Now, all cards can be reversed. King of Wands in reverse is demanding. Can be needy, can be controlling, can be obsessive. Got it? All right, I want what I want when I want it, not a minute sooner. The King of Wands is also sometimes in that reversed energy an unavailable lover, an unavailable partner. So it's interesting that it's a King of Wands and there's this conflict here. And then I see the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is an unfair fight. So we've got two fives here. I'm not sure who the King of Wands is, but we've got two fives here, which is exactly what I felt about the fives coming through for both of you. The unfair fight, the zero-sum game of that Five of Swords, right? It's something you really just can't compete with. You're not on a level playing field here. And both of these cards feel, right? You feel the tension, you feel the lack of unity, the lack of harmony, the lack of stability. That Five of Swords can also be sabotage, right? An outside source, which I keep thinking there's some energy out there penetrating into this connection, causing problems. And what was in between them? A King of Wands. So it could be that this masculine is obsessing about a feminine who may have another suitor, who could have a husband for all I know. That's coming through as the King of Wands. So I'm just going to leave that there. And then what came out underneath? Seven of Cups, right? Confusion, overwhelm on an emotional level. There's so much to process here. Where do I even begin? I begin nowhere. I'm just going to pull way back, Hanged Man, take the 30,000 foot view and try to look at the situation from all angles or with fresh eyes and wait for the enlightenment, wait for those downloads to drop in. So it is delayed gratification, which is fine, and it is self-imposed. It's a self-imposed delay. Okay. But it's good to me because it's not really suffering. It's just more of a sacrifice. I'm going to make this sacrifice because things aren't stable. There's this energy swirling around a King of Wands, and both those energies are fives. So I just feel the need to say that. And then we get the Ten of Swords. End of a painful cycle. And then the happiness steps in. Sun comes out, Leo energy. So I feel like the end of the painful cycle is what's happening right now. The two fives, the Five of Wands, the Five of Swords, the confusion, the emotional overwhelm, and the inability to take that desired action, that need to delay instant gratification. That's why they're in a planning phase up here, but man, that's probably driving them crazy as it has in the past. So very complete message around this masculine. The only variable here is that King of Wands. So whoever that King of Wands represents in your situation, I mean, it could even be this masculine for, you know, for all I know. This is a reading for the collective. Some of you may come in the comments and say, yeah, the masculine is the King of Wands, and there's conflict and self-sabotage, right? So you can feel that the fives are usually coming from an outside source, or you can feel that it's an internal struggle, an internal sabotage. That's possible too. So Page of Swords, feminine. When can I take the leap? When can I just, you know, jump and know that the net will appear? So this feminine's kind of got their ear to the ground, their eyes wide open, looking for the information, for the clarity, for the truth, and their, you know, the opportunity, their break, their lucky break to take that energy of the Fool, Aquarian energy of the Fool, and move forward to calmer waters, right? Beyond all the chaos and the conflict, beyond the turbulence, the bumpy waters, the choppy waters. That's lovely. Page of Wands in the past. My goodness. So I feel this Page of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to go a little further. Okay, got it. I had a moment where I'm like, I'm not sure this is coming through the way I think it's coming through, and I'm glad I pulled the Devil. Here's what this is about. Page of Wands can be just light-hearted, flirtatious messages. You know how you go back and forth in the DMs or texting, right? Old lady tries to speak like a hip person, but you get where I'm going. It's not super evolved. It's kind of fun and flirty, but it's usually more physical. It's usually more, you know, that chemical banter that takes place in newer connections or in long-distance connections. Sometimes, however, player, I'm going to get my needs met. That's oftentimes the you up card. And here this feminine's after a commitment. Remember I said that the morning reading was all about commitment, and here's the commitment card. Yeah, all about that. I need something, I need this divine gift of stability and abundance of, you know, in terms of this connection being able to move forward, just the two of us, not outside interference. And there's the Devil, and the Devil is old patterns on repeat, karmic patterns on repeat, toxic patterns on repeat. And it's kind of got their heels dug in type of energy. I'm feeling it's less of a person right now. That could change as the reading progresses. But I feel that as these messages, these lighthearted messages came through, the feminine was receiving them with their mind all around the Ace of Pentacles, which is a big offer as well. Could be a big offer of taking the connection to the next level, but was kind of ended up dealing with that same old, being kind of lured into an old pattern. Underneath is a Strength card. Perfect. Maintaining your strength, your confidence, and your courage to know you can overcome any obstacles. So I feel as if this feminine kind of pulled away. Not really giving up per se, because that Strength card underneath is a card of perseverance as well, but not interested in repeating any kind of toxic pattern where somebody has their heels dug in, my way or the highway, you know, controlling, obsessive, manipulative, all that energy coming from that Devil card. It can come from the Emperor in reverse as well. So, you know, there may be some power struggles in this connection for some of you. In the absence of it, this feminine was very clearly not interested in the, you know, the patterns of the past. Right? Clean that up, completed it, moved on. I feel like the masculine is struggling with that fact right now. High Priestess, present experience of the connection. I don't see much communication here. That was in the past. Yep. Feminine on a solitary journey. Perfect. There's the, beautiful Virgo energy of the Hermit, right? Doing a deep dive. Possibly coming across to this masculine is inaccessible. That's very possible because the Hermit is a recluse, retreats, goes within, doesn't communicate at all. Neither of these really, really communicate. So there's spiritual journeying here. Sorry, guys. I don't know what that's about. I feel like I just choked on air. Anywho. So I feel this feminine's on a solitary journey, but kind of really in their power in terms of their connection to source. One more on that. Yeah, waiting for the endings and new beginnings. That's what's being processed here. The world, Aquarius and Capricorn, more Capricorn than Aquarius because it's ruled by Saturn. Interesting that the Queen of Wands comes out underneath. I'm going to take that for two reasons. For some of you, the Queen of Wands could be a karmic partner. That's why the Devil's here. And that could be the issue for the King of Wands. So if this masculine is in fact the King of Wands, the interference could be coming from this Queen. That happens very commonly. I'm not indicting the Queen of Wands. I love the Queen of Wands. I feel the Queen of Wands energy all the time because I'm Leo rising. Just going to say it. But fire energy, and this is someone who's fully in their power and knows that they've got some magic tricks up their sleeve. They're very mystical, magical, hard to kind of pin down, mysterious. So that Queen of Wands energy could be about that. For others of you, the Queen of Wands is underneath just as a reminder to this feminine in their psyche that it's time for them to step into their own power. Got it? So it can go either way. Ace of Cups in the future. How lovely. Four of Cups. Ten of Swords. Two of Swords and the Divine Feminine. I'm going to take these cards, hello, as well as the Lovers. I could keep going and keep going and keep going. There are more that I could pull, but I'm just don't want to use the whole deck. So the storyline I'm seeing underneath, let's talk about that first, is this feminine in the future, that's future facing, is coming to a crossroads. And they know a decision needs to be made. So they're going to go within for the clarity because that's where it is. It's not out there. Maintaining the beautiful energy of the Empress, the unconditional love that supports this connection between Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. And here's the Lover's card, which is a card of union, reunion, especially for twin souls and soulmates. But that Lover's card is also a card of choice. So decisions and choices with, coming from the high vibration of Divine Feminine energy. Yes, but still decisions have to be made. And then that High Priestess comes back out to say, you'll know. You'll know. Follow your intuition. So that's what's underneath. And I feel it tells the bulk of the story because what I'm seeing here is the feminine questioning. Is this my Ace of Cups? Here's an Ace of Cups being offered and somebody that's not responding. Emotionally disengaged. This can be a little bit of friend zoning, right? It can also be a potentially missed opportunity. So when I'm looking at that and seeing the Ten of Swords, so now your mirrored energy in the future is around this Ten of Swords. And I feel the decision that needs to be made by this feminine, what all this work is about, is do I accept that cup or is it over for good? If this is speaking to you, my beautiful Cancerians, I'm going to take it to the extended. For those who have followed me before, you know the drill. For those of you who are new, I'm going to take all this energy and do a deep dive, a 3-card spread. What do you need to focus on? What's the block or challenge or the dynamic impacting that? And what can you do about it or expect to come of it? So I'm going to do that and clarify it in detail. Just taking all this energy and then fine-tuning it. Then I'm going to read messages to and from the divine counterparts. What are you trying to say to each other at 5D? Card just for the Cancerians watching from your higher self, spirit of the universe. That's where your spiritual team gets to weigh in on the whole shebang and give you some advice or warnings or whatever. And then the last card is what you can expect in this connection going forward. If timing's a factor, it would show up there, but I do see the wheel, and so I'm kind of feeling like this is already in progress, but if timing shows up, we'll review that as well. So I'd love to see you there. The link is below in the description box, kind of toward the top. I'll be there in a second. Otherwise, I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you in a future reading. Take care. Bye, Cancer.